Good morning, Facebook family. It's another day, Saturday morning, and it's a blessing to be here this morning. It's a blessing that God had us on the list, the wake up list, to wake us up this morning and let us see another day. It ain't every day that you have a beautiful day, but today is Saturday. So with that, I said, I thank God for this beautiful day, you know. But I was sitting here thinking, and a lot of people said they don't like Donald Trump. Well, my understanding, Donald Trump has pardoned R. Kelly. He pardoned another lady, Miss Johnson. She was given life in penitentiary for being letting people use her telephone to do drug transactions. He pardoned her. Nobody's perfect. Not even Donald, nobody. Unless you God. That's the only person I know is perfect. We all have made some mistakes. You talk about R. Kelly. R. Kelly made some mistakes, It's a lot of men out there that have made mistakes, white and blacks. But you talk about Hillary Clinton, you talk about her husband. But Hillary Clinton called black people, black men especially, super predators. Bill Clinton, he implemented the 3 strike law. If a person committed a crime 3 times, he go to penitentiary for life, So, but people have a tendency to forget about things that other people do. Even Joe Biden, he was against busing. He wanted to keep the schools lily white. But everybody has an opportunity to change in life. We all make mistakes. And we do things that we regret. When you look back on it, you say, well, I made a mistake, I was wrong. Even Joe Biden admitted that he was wrong, But like I said, there's nothing perfect. No 2 raindrops are alike. No two snowflakes are alike. We all make mistakes, R. Kelly made some mistakes, and equal as well as P. Diddy. There's a lot of P. Diddy's out there walking around right now. Have committed the same offense that P. Diddy committed. P. Diddy was wrong. He should have never kicked that woman, Casa Ventura, but he did, And I'm pretty sure if he had to do it all over again, he apologized, and he tried to give her some money to pacify her. But the fact is, he committed wrong, And like I say, I have done things that I'm not proud of, and I look back and I ask God to forgive me, I'm going on 81 years old, and now you also got to look at it like this. There's a lot of white people that gave up their life so that we could be free. And what I mean by that, there's a lot of white people in the North went to the South to fight the Southerners because the South refused to let us go out of bondage. They said, these niggas belongs to me. I'm not going to give them their freedom. That's why I said, if you see wrong being committed upon anybody and you stand back and you don't do anything, then you are just as bad as the perpetrator, And there's a lot of white folks died on the battlefield in Shiloh, Gettysburg, a lot of young white folks died, fighting for us. And we was out there too fighting. We just didn't do it all. And we stood back and waited on it, You get a lot of people say, well, why the blacks ain't out there marching with us? ICE is snatching up those immigrants and stuff like that. Well, did they come out and fight for us with George Floyd and Tamir Rice? No, they didn't. They said, we appalled. The blacks are standing back and they won't come out and give us a hand and help us and everything. Well, we know if we go out there, there won't be rubber bullets they be using then, they be using live ammo. So sometimes that we got to stand back, Now, I go along with Donald Trump when he said the birthright citizenship, because that law was implemented for black women that are coming up out of slavery to have a child. And automatically the child would be granted American citizen. And that's no more than right. But a lot of these people come here, they capitalize off of black policies, Things that we got out and doing the civil rights era march and got beat down and water holes put on us and dogs put on us and everything. Where were they at then? Nowhere to be seen. But then after we get this freedom, then they come running to America, and then they want us to go out there. And we told them about Donald Trump, but some of his policies, but they didn't listen. Oh, we love you, Mr. Trump, a lot of the Hispanics. We love you, Mr. Trump, because they thought they would get one up on us. But Trump showed them something, and I agree with him. Like I said, ain't nobody gonna be perfect. But one thing I can say, I feel safe under Donald Trump. I don't have to worry about Iran or none of them other countries coming over here attacking America. I do say that much. But with that, I said, I'm gonna call it, I didn't say it enough. We had no bigger enemy than Tim Reed from out of South Carolina. He's an Uncle Tom all day long. Uncle Ben, Uncle Sambo, he's Uncle everybody, And like I said, all blacks' skin ain't tin. I say this to anybody. All black skin ain't tin. You got a lot of people that do more harm to us. We lost our great leaders like Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, and people like that. We lost a lot of great leaders, And this stuff that we got now leading us, I wouldn't follow to the outhouse. But what the hell I'm saying is everybody have a wonderful day. It's Kenny Lee from Norfolk, Virginia.